later, but we're in early. And the reason why we're in early because we're getting this matter taken care of. I'm doing my work today, a couple of videos to do today. I might be out and about on site. So definitely want to get some more videos done. And I got some work I got to do for my company and updating and all that stuff that has to be done. But this has to be addressed. And with Fernando, first thing first, and then my name is Kenneth Burr. My company is ILEG Technology Screens. The reason why this is a big deal, and for some people saying, oh, it's not it is a big deal. Because for people who go out there and work hard and make products at the end of the day, should not have to be subjected to getting their stuff ripped off or stuff being sold under their noses without basically getting paid for what they basically worked to build to begin with. And this is the problem we have with Fernando touching copyrights and doing whatever he wanted to do with our work and carrying on and acting up and doing, slandering our company's name and all that stuff, and then violating just about anybody that he feels that he can come across and just take their stuff and do what he wants to do. The same thing with Frankenstein. He took their company. I got to print those out too because I have to send those over as more evidence and our stuff we have going on with the CCB and stuff like that because we've dealt with him for basically touching our copyrights. So the fact that he just doesn't have any form of respect for anybody's stuff, and this is the reason why these rules are put in place to keep people from getting ripped off and getting robbed, and it's only right. Now, for anybody at the end of the day feels that people should have a right to take other people's stuff and do what they want with them, then you should have no problem with someone coming and seizing your stuff, taking your stuff from you, and you can't complain or argue about it because, that's the rules. That's the reason why we have laws in place to keep people from getting ripped off, from people getting taken advantage of. And this is what Fernando did. I didn't realize the full extent to how bad this was until I got a chance to go over his YouTube channel and just seeing the people that I don't even know why anyone was stupid enough to take pictures next to this guy, next to counterfeit goods. You're going to be an investigation now. We got roughly 16 major, we just filled out a report with them. We just sent it off to them. Major. Homeland Security is today, earlier today, we contact them and give the location of the unit. Major enforcements are involved in this. Counterfeiting is a major crime in the United States. Major crime. You're going to have all types of federal agents involved in this. It is big because Fernando was ripping off some very serious companies. And these companies, again, as I said before, are not going to appreciate someone making their items and pocketing the money because you have to pay that money out. If I want to do business with any one of these companies in here, anyone I have in here, I got to contact these people. I got to say, hey, look, okay, here's the deal. I can pay for it retail, which again, or I can pay for it wholesale. Now, if I pay for wholesale, I got to show an identification tax ID number or a wholesale license to show that my company's legitimate to buy from your program that allows me to get it for cheaper. But I still got to pay them. I got to pay them. And even if I buy anything in here, I still got to pay for it. I got to pay them money for their item. Just like if someone's buying from me, they got to pay me for my item. And that's the problem you have, Fernando. You have a track record showing you have a habit of ripping people off. You ripped off your customer base. You turned around and you ripped off Frankenstein. We got multiple receipts from you on you making claims that you have rights to the name Frankenstein and you sold a product underneath that name and kept all the money. We have now you operating a major counterfeiting 3D ring out of your apartment showing major licensed material. There's Disney involved in that because Disney owns the rights to Star Wars. There's Nintendo involved in that because we sold several Pokemon items. There is DC Comics involved in this. Marvel Comics involved in this. I even saw Godzilla in there. A buddy of mine went in and took his video and broke it down. Each individual piece, exactly what company it came from. It's staggering how many people he ripped off. The slideshow we just showed you, not only are there individuals who bought that stuff, but there is boxes showing that he was printing out, Michael Myers' mask. That's a trademark. You can't do that. You can't print that mask out. You have to buy those things. So you got boxes and boxes of items that you have been going along and you just have been printing out everybody's licensed wear and just selling it and kept pocketing the money. Do you have any idea how many people I know in law enforcement that I actually shared those pictures with and showed them that information, and they would just jaw drop. Like, where's this guy at? Where's he located at? Dude, you're going to be arrested in no time at all. They'll get him before ICE gets him. And then you sit there and say, at the end of the day, he's a racist because he's coming at me. Dude, you've clearly committed major crimes on United States soil. This is what they're campaigning about on why they're picking up your people. And this is why we sat there and said to the Mexican people and community, this guy is bad news for your people. You know the news is going to be involved in this, right? It is definitely going to be involved in this. Anytime ICE is involved, some news is involved, any federal agencies, Homeland Security, all that stuff, they're going to be involved in this. And you know what this is going to do? This is going to make his people look even bad, even worse. That's what it's going to do. And he'll sit around and say, oh, but it's his fault because I should have what? Never reported it and allow you to rip off American companies? Anyone who sat on that YouTube channel, on his YouTube channel, and they're going to go to that YouTube channel, left and right, they're going to go through everything. It's going to do a thorough investigation. You're not going to leave anything unturned. Anyone on that YouTube channel and you turn a blind eye knowing this is going on, you could be under investigation for this. Not saying anything can get you thrown in jail. If you knew this guy was on there making those sales, ripping off these companies, and you did nothing about it, you matter of fact supported this nonsense, get an attorney. You're going to need one. You're going to definitely need an attorney. They need to see exactly how much influence you had on this nonsense. And then he posted it on social media. So all those still shots, all those pictures we got more than that. We got a whole, I got duplicated, his entire account was duplicated. Everything was broken down and categorized exactly how much stuff was being ripped off and what companies it belonged to. And you got videos of them at Comic-Con. At Comic-Con, showing off merchandise that these artists work hard to be able to have their products out there. He just rips them off, especially Stan Lee. He ripped off Stan Lee. And you guys on that channel supported that nonsense. So don't come up here and say at the end of the day, oh, by the way, all that texting at the bottom, all that stuff, oh, we got it for that. Oh, it was sent to them. Those videos are all sent to them. So that carrying on and acting up, all that's down there. And take account or not, this is the United States government at the end of the day. This particular unit right here can track you down anywhere in the world. It doesn't make a difference. You got burner phones or whatever, you'll have agents at your front door. So by us opening up the chat, it allowed us to bring people into the room that was defending this guy by carrying on and acting up. I warned you, didn't I? Did I warn you in the video? It says right there in the video, I warned you. This is going to be sent to an agency. So with that being said, you supported a counterfeiter. That's what you did. Jaime Fernando, as it is what it is, took a 3D printer and violated the code violation of that 3D printer by printing out trademark, license, patent items and selling these items to people in front of the apartment, in flea markets, and at Comic-Con. That's what he did. Did he report any of these wages, any of this money back to these companies? No, he didn't. He pocketed all the money for himself. That's what he did. Even bragged about spending money on more supplies to be able to go out and steal from these companies again. Even made replies by saying that I'm going to be making more. And judged by the boxes and boxes of stuff we found on your YouTube channel of you showing off if you basically violating these companies, you're done. You are finished and done. Now, I've got
that's what we're looking. We have to make sure it's doing that's what we're looking. Oh, here. Supposed to do a battle with my charger now. You're jacked up my charger so badly. When I took it to the charge, I didn't say it was jacked it up. Gotta stop getting fights with the charger. What is the deal with you and my charger? Why do you always fight the charger? What's that like telling me? Fight the charger, fight the charger, fight the charger. What is the personal vendetta you have with my chargers? You need these things to work. You know that, right? Some people fight with the charger. There we go.
Leave that thing alone, please. Goodness gracious. Why shoot, tear at my chargers? I don't have any chargers left, man. You keep fighting those things. I gotta build me some boxes today. He can't get access to a charger. Anyway, as I said before, Jamie, you have to understand. You attack my company. You touch my copyrights at the end of the day. You don't have any respect for anyone's work at the end of the day. I'm an American citizen at the end of the day. You come to here, to this country, and you tamper with my copyrights at the end of the day, to splatter them all over your account, trying to make my company look bad. You go and you take Frankenstein, another company, Universal Studio, and you take that name and you go and make money off their name and don't pay them a red cent for nothing. Then you come in and you run a major counterfeiting ring out of your apartment, ripping off major companies and stealing and taking their items and selling them. That's what you're doing. You know what you did? You completely cut out the middleman. Because you're supposed to, if you're going to do business with these companies, you're supposed to have, if you're going to sell any form of action figures or anything from them, wholesale license actually works so much better for that because then you're not buying anything retail. You buy a whole lot of stuff from them, and then you can sell it at Comic-Con or where you want to go at. It's all legit. As long as you got license and vending and all that stuff, you're good to go. But you didn't do that. You know what you did? You ripped their company off. You started printing and bootlegging and counterfeiting their own merchandise and selling it. And when you sat there and said, I spent $1,000, you spent $1,000 on equipment to rip off a company. That's what you have, and that's what we have already in pictures already. That you're investing more money back into ripping off companies. It shows that from the boxes of masks and items we found, especially that apartment, you're running a business out of that apartment, like, oh, we got City Hall to contact for the license, we got a code enforcers to come down for the building, they got to come down because it's a whole eco thing, because they don't know where these containers are being dumped at, if he's dumping them down drains, if he's dumping them down the toilet, if he's dumping them down the sink, how these things being destroyed. It's a whole lot of agencies involved in this now, including the dozens among dozens of national intelligent property rights, and we had to contact them. We had right now in the process contacting Homeland Security. It's a whole lot of agencies that are going to be hitting that apartment. I feel sorry for the landlord. And then we got to bring in ICE. Definitely ICE is going to be involved in this. We got to update the folder over there. We got to contact local law enforcement in your neighborhood now. You ran a major ring out of your apartment. You stole from a lot of major companies. Then we got to reach out to YouTube, because YouTube is definitely going to be ticked off about this, because you broadcasted on their YouTube platform of you ripping off companies, which they're definitely against at the end of the day. I don't have no idea how they didn't catch on to that. And you have a nerve to get mad at other people because they contacted ICE on you? I found I'm not the only one that made a report on you. There are other people who saw that video and made reports on them. So I'm not the only one. And you got mad at those people because they contacted ICE. What's ICE's job to do at the end of the day, Jamie? What's their job? Their job is to remove undocumented that are committing major crimes in our communities, right? To remove those dangerous people out. That's what their job is, right? All right, then there you go. So who are you complaining to about why your rights are being violated? Now, a person who's minding his own business, a person who's working a regular job and going out and doing what he's doing at the end of the day, and it's picked up by them and thrown into one of those units, that's wrong at the end of the day because he didn't do anything wrong. He's not a criminal. Their job is to pick up criminals, what they should be doing, only picking up criminals, which we know they don't. And I talked to a friend of mine. I said, you know what? All the people that they represent that go through these issues, you're the one that needs to be picked up, and you are will be picked up. You will be picked up. Everything happens for a reason. If it wasn't for you attacking that paint over there, we wouldn't have figured this out. I knew you were printing out stuff here and there. I sat there and said on my channel, I said, I hope that's not stuff you printed out. For a minute, I thought it was your collection you were selling off. That's what I thought it was. I don't think he couldn't be that stupid to sell off unlicensed team. You couldn't be that dumb. But apparently you are that stupid. Because then when I saw that video, that's how we found out. We never knew. See? Tampering with something that don't belong to you, going to your channel, and that's how we found it. And I was like, oh my goodness, this guy is pretty much running a counterfeiting ring with a 3D printer out of his department. And then as we went to look through your accounts, I saw customers, I saw items that you print out boxes, the Jason masks, all this stuff you're doing, all against the law. All of it's against the law. That is enough, Fernando. You're definitely going to El Salvador. You're definitely going there. There's no doubt about it. You're going there. No doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. You ran a major counterfeiting ring out of your apartment. Check in idea how many agencies are attached to this now. Nintendo was the first company we reached out to about this problem. And we got to reach back with them. You can see they're contacting us back left and right. This is one of the agencies that just popped up a few minutes ago, gave us a reference number, reporting fraud and scam to the government. Yeah, they're contacting back and they're requesting information. My phone number, all my information is on there for them to reach out to me. Because unlike you guys, at the end of the day, you put in false reports against people. You don't put your real information in there because you lie. We, on the other hand, don't lie. If we say we have information on something, we do. Now, what are you going to do, James? You're going to sit there and say, oh, he's snitching? Oh, so I'm snitching. I'm supposed to let a United States citizen, a person who basically pays for copyrights and patents and trademarks myself, I'm supposed to allow you to go in and rip off Stan Lee and any other company at the end of the day. Because you ripped off Nintendo, just for everybody. But I thought the most disgusting thing I saw on that table, and everything on it was disgusting, was the fact that he was bragging about printing a Spider-Man and an Iron Man, something that belonged to the late Stan Lee, and you're making money off his work. And that guy's sitting there with the Spider-Man in his hand, smiling. You need to get an attorney, buddy. You're going to need one. Because we got customers with those items. You know, there's a thing called receiving stolen goods. You had a couple years for that one. You knew the items they had. I can't understand. How dumb are you people? I have to put that. How dumb are you people? How dumb are you? You might have walked into a bank and had all your information printed onto a t-shirt. You took pictures next to stolen items. You know who's printing this stuff out. It's against the law. You gotta pay for that stuff. That's why the only person I've seen was that guy who made the comment, said, well, it's something tempting, but he said, I bought from your sister. Very smart move. Extremely smart move. Because he would have went to jail for that. And for some reason, I don't know, where did you get in your head that you want to get away with this? I saw some people at the end of the day who have influence and reach and law. And they saw that, oh, he's bold. He's a bold one, ain't he? Bold ones don't do well, Jamie. They don't. So we got enough evidence on you right now to get the job done. You're finished. That's it. I told you at the end of the day, what did I keep telling you about following the devil? What did I tell you? What did I tell you about this? What did I tell you? I warned you, right? I warned you over and over and over again. I told you this was the time that you need to start repenting to God. Did I not tell you this? Look what the trouble the devil got you into now. There's no way out of this. You're going to be hunted. Did you disappear from that unit? You go anywhere. You're going to be hunted. Your picture An address and information is everywhere now in government agencies. It's everywhere. I got another 20 more to go today. And if you think we're doing it at the end of the day because we hate you, Jamie, no, we're doing this because you basically committed a serious crime. You did the same thing to my company. You did the same thing to Frankenstein. You don't have any, your Universal Studios owns it. You have no respect for anyone's stuff. You don't. And I'm pretty sure your wife knew all this was going on because there's no way in the world she couldn't figure it out. There's no way in the world. So guess what? Bam! She's going to get arrested too. Accessory to the crime. She had to know. There's no way in the world you would not know all that's going on in there. No way in the world. She's going to be arrested. And they're going to have to reach out to that landlord and let him know that that particular unit is going to be shut down. Or it can be worse. They could seize the building because it's in part of a counterfeiting ring that you were running in there. Which that's not going to make the tenants too happy. Or those tenants too happy. Because they might have to shut the building down now. And now they got to do a massive investigation and track down everyone on your YouTube account. Which means everyone on that YouTube account, not good for you right now. They're going to go through your PayPal account, Cash App account, anything they can find that shows any money trail where that money went to. These people don't play around at the end of the day. I don't know where, my friend was looking at that, he was like, how did he think he was going to get away with this? The file with them is already done. We filed it already. It's already went through. I'm not showing you that to show you what's going to happen to you. It was already filed. This file was already dumped on YouTube. I already filed it already. That's the next one. We're contacting. Direct line contact with Homeland Security. This is the next one we're reaching out to. That's what we're advised to reach out to Homeland Security for counterfeiting. It's a very serious crime, Jamie. Companies get ripped off for millions and millions of dollars every freaking second or every part of the day. There's somewhere, somebody's selling something that they shouldn't be selling. And as a person who makes his own product, at the end of the day, I wouldn't appreciate anybody else ripping off my product. There's a lot of people, Jamie, at the end of the day that work hard to make their money, to bring their ideas and dreams to life, and the last thing they want is for somebody to rip them off and take from them, and they don't want that. And they have that right to have what's theirs. It belongs to them. Does it make a difference how much money they have? It's still theirs at the end of the day, and no one has the right to take that from them. You're a thief at the end of the day. That's what you are. You see the track record? You steal from your customers. You steal from other people. You're a thief. So, I'm going to finish my screen here, get my work done. Got people coming through to check out my new technology. I'm all ready to go start my next level. But you, on the other hand, I got a couple more companies to reach out to. I will have a unit by your unit, by that building. I guarantee you, Jamie, we'll have somebody out there. Because again, it's not hard to do. We've got so much evidence on you, basically. Oh man, it's overwhelming. It's unbelievable. Evidence is right there. You might have just robbed the bank. With all your information printed to your T-shirt. This is who I am. Da 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 da. Come get me. That's really what you did. At Comic-Con, face all up in the camera. So understand, I printed this. Printed this one right here. Why do you think when you put the camera to her sister, she kind of moved her head away? I'd move my head away too. I don't want to be a part of that nonsense. She just did you a favor. But because of that and all that was going on and everything, she could very well, she's going to lose her license. She's going to probably lose her license. Unless she can say she didn't know, but how could you not know? You're a collector. You would definitely know. But you just said she was a collector, right? She's been collecting for a very long time. Collectors can spot frauds. And you can clearly tell that's a fraud. You can tell they're frauds. I think she was helping you out, and she decided to attach her table with yours. That's why your tables are so close together. If I was her, at the end of the day, I was like, look, you got to be over there somewhere, because I don't want you anywhere near, just in case this stuff gets busted, or something, you get caught, I don't want to be a part of this. That's what she should have did. Unfortunately, this is probably going to mess her up too. You're again, I said, you're Trump. Everything that guy touches just basically falls apart. You screw your own family members over. And you're done, Fernando. You're done. What we have at the end of the day doesn't even matter anymore for what's about to happen to you. I'm going to put it this way. You're going to die in the prison system. You're never getting out, man. You are never getting out. Do you have any idea the time he's going to receive for all that stuff? How long he's going to... You don't die in the prison system. You're never getting out. You're going to spend the remaining of your time, and if you walk, you're going to hunt you down, man. Where are you going to go? Where can you go? You're undocumented. Where are you going to go? You can't jump on a plane and fly somewhere. That's not going to happen. You're going to flash your picture everywhere. You go into a bus station, they're going to know who you are. You can't go anywhere. You're going to be hunted. So, again, you screwed yourself majorly. You know, the whole purpose, I explained to you, that if you come over here and you're undocumented, keep a low profile. Don't be going out doing crazy stuff at the end of the day. That's usually what most people do. Not you. You do the dumbest thing you ever seen in your entire life. You remind me of a guy, TK, the race. Remember that fellow at the end of the day? Remember him, right? I don't understand. I mean, this kid had a future. He could have went to college. He did a lot of things at the end of the day. There's a lot of things he could have did, but he chose to do that type of life. And this man's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. He's young. He's very young. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. It's a sad story. It's a very sad story. But that's what happens when you play the game. When you play that type of game, these are the consequences that come behind it. Jaime, you're an older man. You have a wife and kids at the end of the day. You're never going to see your wife again. You are never going to see your kids again. You see what's sitting on YouTube right now? Do you know where those videos go at the end of the day? They're all over Google. They're everywhere. And it clearly shows you in a video mentioning I printed out a Spider-Man figure. And this one over here. And this is my table right over here. Right there. And then on your channel, you got multiple boxes of masks and items. Oh my goodness, it's freaking unbelievable. Customers telling you made sales, you made money off and profited off their products. Right there out in the open. It's over, buddy. That's what it is. It's over. You're going to be in a police vehicle pretty soon. With handcuffs on. Watching the wall for the last time as you pass through it, because you're going to spend the rest of your life in the prison system. And when they sit you down in that unit to process you, they're going to realize there's a control order, which we have over here with ICE, because we have to go in there to update all the information we have there with them now. And they're going to come by and pick you up. That's what's going to happen. They're going to find you're undocumented either way. And they're going to contact that unit, and they're going to come pick you up. And I'm going to tell you something, buddy. When you see those guys walking to the door, you're going to pee yourself. There's some frightening jokers that they are frightening at the end of the day. Make your heart skip a beat. They are frightening you. You're not going to court with none of those guys at the end of the day because they don't believe in due process. That's what's jacked up about the whole thing. They're going to stick you in a containment unit. That's where you're going to be at until they get ready to transport you out of the country. You committed a major crime on U.S. soil. And now you want to go around screaming at people, calling people racist? See, this is why you got to be careful, Jaime, about things that you do. I explained to this. Be careful about things that you do, because you'll pay for these things. You see all the stuff you did, prosecuting a Christian, attacking us. Now look at the outcome now. Look at the outcome now. You are definitely 100% going to be arrested by ICE. No doubt about it. And you can sit there and tell people at the end of the day, oh, he's racist because he... No, I did what any American citizen is supposed to do at the end of the day. Is report that nonsense. Now, if I went out there and you were out there mowing your lawn, minding your own business, and I thought, oh, because he's Mexican, I'm just going to call ICE on him. It doesn't work that way, Jaime. It's almost impossible to do it. You know why? Because they require you to fill documents out. That's why. When you fill those documents out, you have to put all your information in there. Go in there and fill out one of those documents and put false information in there. They'll be at your front door. It clearly says at the bottom that this is committing perjury, will come with prison time and massive fines. So they will fine your behind at the end of the day. It warns you, don't put anything on it. Every document that I filled out had a policy at the bottom that had a check off saying, hey, make sure that information is legit. They don't play around with that stuff at the end of the day. So if I'm lying about this, I'm going to jail. If I'm lying about you basically going out and ripping off companies and stealing from them, I'm going to jail. But unfortunately for you, it's the truth. Because you did rip off those countries. So you're going to tell me at the end of the day, you got permission from any of the descendants from Stanley, from Marvel, the board of directors, you got permission from them to sell their items without paying them a dime. You got permission from DC Comics to go out and spend to sell their products without paying them a dime, right? That's what you're saying, right? You're willing to show us paperwork, right? That you have, because you're going to show it either way. We're going to request it. We saw Godzilla back here, Pokemon. I seen Power Rangers you ripped off, all kinds of stuff. You got permission from all these companies. All these companies gave you permission to sell their items and to pocket it. So show me the paperwork. You got until the day to show me the paperwork. I'm not giving you, I'm going to file everything I got to file at you right now. I got more agencies to go through. I got people to contact, people to call. I got to get down to City Hall. I got to contact them over there. Let them know what's going on with that building over there. I got to contact code enforcement because, again, you are operating the business out of there. You don't have a license to sell or do any business in the state of California. So that's another issue right there. Whatever God knows went on with those chemicals over there, and who knows how much spray paint you got impacted in that apartment. That's got to be done and taken care of. There's just so much stuff, man. We got to take care of today on you. You could, you know what? If all those air, where are you keeping that many aerosol cans? I hope you're not keeping that in that apartment. And you got very ventilation in that area. And you're using a tabletop printer, so that's a hazard right there. That's a violation code right there. They're going to slam your landlord with all types of fines after this. The biggest mistake that landlord ever made was moving into that apartment. That's the biggest mistake he made. The biggest mistake he made. Jamie, if your landlord didn't have a problem with what you were doing, you wouldn't have got a fake one to contact us. Get my screen up. What is it with the phone for this? I forgot about that. Get this done. I got things to do. But anyway, yeah. So that's it. So after the day, I've got more people to contact and people to call. And we got your address. We know where you're at. They know what you look like. All your information is on file with ICE. So everything's good to go. Go ahead, make a video and say, "Oh, I'm being prosecuted because I didn't do anything wrong." Yeah. I like to see how many people at the bottom comment at the bottom that you did nothing wrong. Oh, by the way, we did go through that too. And mind you, everything was documented. They documented everything on that site. Any comments that were made on any of those, now other screen, we don't care about that, but anything on those printed items, all the comments on the bottom, they're all documented. Everything was documented. So delete your YouTube channel, whatever you got to do at the end of the day, but it really doesn't make a difference. It's documented, it was sent in. Guy ran a major ring at the end of the day. It was sold. They got to know how much of this stuff was sold, who sold it. These companies are going to get involved, and good God, when these companies get involved, Jamie, that ain't the nightmare of it all. The nightmare is when these big companies come in with these big attorneys. These companies got attorneys at the end of the day. You know, Nicki Minaj has some stuff going on with Barbie, some conflict with them. Barbie's not a company to play around with. They have more money than she has at the end of the day. There's another one with a woman who got in a fight with, I forgot the company name. There's another company. So bottom line is, they got something called similarity lawsuits. The similarity lawsuit, this means if you come close to matching the item that they have, even if it's a different color. Let's say if you made a Spider-Man, you decide to make a green Spider-Man, and a green Spider-Man, it's called a similarity lawsuit, which means you come too close to matching their material, which means they can file a lawsuit, and if you don't remove it, they can take it to court and clock with it. But you, on the other hand, actually, no matter what color you have, you actually ripped off the exact likeness of the item. Didn't even alter it. The exact likeness. So you thought if you wanted, you changed a little bit this or you mix with that, still you can't touch it. So you took a Disney and this, and it's still two companies you can't touch. And Nintendo doesn't play around with that kind of stuff. That's why they ask for your address. And since your sister was there at the table, which was not good, that she was there involved in that, they're going to think other family members might have been involved. So now they got to question her too. They're not going to skip her. They got to talk to her. What's she going to do at the end of the day? You're her brother at the end of the day. You involved your family's mess. Jaime, if you're going to do dirt at the end of the day, only involve yourself. Never involve other family members, ever. I don't advise people on doing dirt, but if you're going to do it, then they don't involve other people in your family in that mess. You're a very dirty individual. You are. You're filthy. All right, let me see if this is an emergency call 911. I'm going to call 911. Let me see what time we got here. Okay, let's get the screen set up. And I got phone calls to make, and I got some people I got to see. And you're done. That's pretty much it. Hopefully that burden doesn't lay on your kids' heads. But sometimes that paying that money up, you ain't got it, they're gonna transfer that burden to somebody else. So hopefully it doesn't land on your wife's head, or your wife ain't gonna be there. They're going to get it. She's gonna be deported too. She had to know what's going on. There's no way in the world in that cramped apartment, when they walk up in there, there's no way in the world that she didn't know you were printing out all that stuff and selling it. How many agencies involved in this mess? I warned you. I told you. Did I warn you? That was a joke, right? Devil got in your head and told you to go out and print those items up. I'm pretty sure common sense kicked in and told you not to do it. Well, you printed it up anyway, right? And devil told you at the end of the day, hey, brag about it. Put it on YouTube. Jaime, we didn't even know you were doing this stuff. If you were bragging toward me to show how much money you're making, we didn't see any of that stuff. We don't go to your YouTube channel. I found out because you made some comment about my screen over there, and I went over to prove you wrong, which I did. And embarrassed your stuff again today. Well, actually, trashed your screen last night. But I'm going to trash your screen again today for fun. Taking it outside, by the way. Been dying to do that to your paint for a while. Anyway, so that's that right there. But we would have never known about that. If you had never said anything about that screen, I would have never known, because I don't go to your site. But the fact that you did say something, that's how I found the video. And I know if a person who's filed for copyrights and patents and trademarks, I know for a fact that what you did was against the law. And just to be sure, and I already know already, but just to humor it, I sent this to some people at the end of the day in California and people here in Pennsylvania who basically deal with the fact of copyright and trademark infringements. Clearly, you have broke some very serious laws, and they asked me, did I contact Homeland Security about the situation? I said, we're in the process of getting this done. They gave me a list of agencies to contact and report you. So right now, it's considered that he is running a counterfeiting 3D printing ring. That's what they're considered to be. It's bootlegging, it's piracy, it's so much stuff. And what they're going to do is, when they arrest you, they're going to contact these companies and let them know, hey, look, we have all this contraband from this guy who's printing out your stuff, and they're going to give them all your information. And they're going to come down and file charges against you, and that's what's going to happen. We're talking about 20 years. Each one of those items might get you 20 years. Again, that's why I say it's going to spend the rest of his life in the prison system. And on top of that, they're going to reach out to me. And I go, what? Yeah, he hit our company. When we had to have a process server come to this front door for touching our copyrights. And this is the evidence we have against him, what he was doing to us. And then on top of that, we bought products from him from Frankenstein. He literally named the product Frankenstein. I even have your old YouTube pictures from your old account. We actually had the picture of Frankenstein on your containers. We had bright orange and bright yellow labels, and you had Frankenstein on it. You know, you forgot about them? Oh, we got all that. I told you we have all your information. He was stealing from them. So now I show the track record, you ripping people off. And this makes, again, your people look bad. Because hopefully no one looks at this and go, oh, all Mexicans, you got to be careful about them because they're going to rip your stuff off. Yeah, that's what, now, you know, that's what you did to your people, man. And hopefully no one thinks that way. Because no, it's not all Mexicans. It's just that one at the end of the day. So don't blame other Mexicans at the end of the day if somebody else is superior. That's like saying at the end of the day that all Russians at the end of the day are racist against anyone in Ukraine. That's a lie at the end of the day. That makes you ignorant at the end of the day. That's like saying all white people hate black people. That's a lie at the end of the day. If you cracked a couple books every once in a while, you would notice that there were white people actually marching with Martin Luther King, and a lot of them actually gave up their lives for black rights. That's like saying that all Germans are Nazis. Again, wrong again. There were actually Germans that actually fought against Hitler at the end of the day, and a lot of them were actually killed and tortured at the end of the day, keeping little hiding areas where Jews can go out and be safe from these German enforcers. So in every race, you have good apples and you have bad apples. Jamie's a bad apple. That's what he is. Ripped off American companies. So I'm not the only person, Jamie, that called ICE on you. There's a few people who had that saw those videos. They reported you. Also reported you to other agencies too. Because you ripped off a lot of companies. Doesn't make a difference if these people are rich or not, Jamie. It's their stuff. That's what it comes down to. At one point, these people started off with nothing, and they built those empires. Do you have any idea? You don't understand hard work, Jamie, because you're lazy. But you have to understand the fact that the hard work and dedication, that it comes from the ground up to build something from nothing. And that's what a lot of these people did. And they actually are entitled to their success. They're not entitled to have somebody rip off their hard work. Just because they got money at the end of the day doesn't mean it gives you the right to take their stuff at the end of the day. It still belongs to them. Everybody hates people who rip people off at the end of the day. So, no point saying I'll see you in court, because I won't, because you won't be here anymore. You won't be here anymore. That's all to it for that. You're going to be gone. Forever. Everything happens for a reason, Jamie. Everything happens for a reason. It was meant for you to touch that paint, make a statement about it. It was meant for us to go to your channel and find those videos. It was meant for this to happen. Everything happens for a reason. Let me see. A little bit, not too bad. Let me see right there. Okay, it's good, it's good. I like the gamer so much. This is my phone. I like the gamer so much I'm keeping it. The rest of the ones that I want, I'm going to give those to a friend of mine. Ugh. He's going to buy the rights to those paints. So he's going to get them. They don't interfere with other paints. They're different from everything. Everything we've developed basically is different from one to another. So it's like the same thing over and over and over again, like a couple of tablespoons of black paint. We don't do that crap. He's going to buy the rights for those paints because he wants them for something. That's why I said, Jamie, you're sitting up there talking about how you make all this money. Dude, I made $20,000 for freaking 32 ounces of paint. 20 grand. And again, like I said, that technology being the only one of its kind to be able to absorb sunlight, how much advertising in the industry is worth a lot of money. That sucker's worth $8,000 for 24 by 36. That's what my buddy said he got for us. 8 grand. But the thing about that, Jamie, is this is my product at the end of the day. I don't have to rip anybody off to make money, because that's what I want to do. I don't have to rip people off. And he was to say, what about my customers? My customers' demonstrations are better than yours. What are you talking about? You don't know how to make product, and they could even make your own stuff correct. I blew your paint out right here on a product that it's 5% completed, and I blew your stuff out of the water. That's the same paint we sent to your front door that even you couldn't even back up. That's how I embarrass you every day on YouTube. Don't talk about screen paints. You don't even know what you're doing. When I was selling great paints, I was more successful than you were when you were selling great paints. Come on, man. My track record at Digital One, crystal screen paint is farther than your stuff. What are you talking about? The only way you know how to do business, James, is to steal. That's the only way you know how to do business. You can't do an honest business. You don't know how to. All you know how to do is steal. Either you'll steal from other people, or pretty much you'll steal from other people. That's what you do. And when you first started, you came on YouTube talking about giving people free products. And then you went from talking to other people and stealing their ideas. That's why you came to me and we told you no. Now look what he got you. So, you've been stealing from day one. You steal from everybody. You steal from your customers. As you had that whole thing on your policy on your website, you used to have it on there. If you open it up, you're stuck with it. If you can't exchange it, nothing. If it lands on your property, you're stuck with it. If you open it, you're stuck with it. You've been stealing from people for years. And then you turn around and you steal from companies. I told you. Play around with the devil. The devil put a noose around your neck, put you up on a chair, and he's the one that's going to kick it out from you. When you're sitting there choking and trying to reach for that rope and turn around, you see him sitting there smiling at you on the rope. You're about to hang, man. It's not going to get hard to get those people out there. We got so much evidence on you doing this. We got you on camera, making sales out of your apartment in different places, especially in Comic-Con. We got to reach out to them too, your legal department, and show them those pictures. You know, Jack, the thing about it is, they're going to go through that list of how many people that came in for what and everything, and your sister's name's going to pop up. They're going to contact her and ask her, who is he to you? She got to tell them the truth. That's my brother. Where is his address at? But that's not going to be a problem because we're going to put her information in so they don't have to go through that nonsense. Maybe we do that, she'll be skipped and hopefully they don't contact her. But at the end of the day, it's not her fault. It's his fault. You're a dirtbag, Jamie. You're a real dirtbag. And you stole from Stanley. Man, I got so many people right now on Facebook that want to kick his butt right now. That's disrespectful, man. That is so disrespectful. And you did it at Comic-Con. Come on, man. Comic-Con is Stanley. You're a dirtbag. And you people on this YouTube channel who supported that nonsense, guess what? You're dirtbags too. You supported all that scam and the ripping off he was doing. Because we got all your information. McAfee, you supported that nonsense, didn't you? You're involved in that crap because you were supporting a lot of the scams this guy was doing. We got a track record of mile long on Jamie on his history on scamming and ripping people off. And the people he worked with involved in paint, including Mr. Williams. Told you, stay away from Williams. You have to understand, John, you want to sit there and say, well, how does this involve me with it? Because when you commit one crime, it digs up other crimes. This is going to open the door for all the stuff that we have to go through with the individuals. You're going to be lumped in there too with it. Well, that's pretty much it. At the end of the day, I'm past my time. I'm going to set my screen up, check out some gaming on this baby, and keep them this one here. And my buddy's going to get those two over there. So we got to work out some kind of contract with them. What do we got? We got 638, so nothing's going to be running until most likely. What time can I contact them? Operation. Okay. Probably around 8 o'clock. Let me check. How much I contacted some of these agencies. I do have to leave City Hall today too. All right, you're about to get your snacks next. Because we got to talk about that license. You don't have a license to sell that stuff. You don't have any permission to sell that stuff. What are you going to do? Get on your channel? Hey, get away from that. You're going to get on your channel and you're going to rant and cry again? Well, let me explain something to you. Your channel is monitored by multiple agencies. When people we contacted, they got your YouTube channel multiple times. So your channel is monitored. And you can forget about deleting stuff off your page. It ain't going to help you. Trust me. It's not going to help you at all. Your stuff is already monitored. It was locked in. That's why we did it early. So they can lock into your stuff quick. All your stuff was sent over to them. We even had live representatives. We were talking to on the phone. And we were pulling up your YouTube channel. And they were looking through your stuff. So that won't do any good. All right, let's set this up. I got to go. Thank you for your time at the end of the day. And for those people at the end of the day want to say, well, it doesn't make a difference. We're contracted. We had this conversation yesterday, did we not? About the whole B2B and high client thing we're about to do. We're already set up. We're good. So whether you like it, we don't care. I'm going to an advertising firm. This is what I'm paying out of pocket now. Not for YouTube anymore, out of pocket to advertise our technology to the next level. That's where we want to be at. And then I got to be at a bunch of these big conventions, electronic shows, and stuff like that. So, you know, that's what it is at the end of the day. You know, you guys have been talking that nonsense for the longest time, talking about, oh, we don't. And has that stopped my business in any way whatsoever? No, it has not. All right, then. Enjoy my 8,000. You know what? I'm going to put it this way. If that surface at 24 by 36, it's $8,000. Imagine how much money it costs to have a surface that is roughly 4 feet by 9 feet. That tells you how much money we're about to make. All right. Jamie, I'm going to get this all wrapped up today because I'm going to get all this done today, and I can get this done at the same time. Got a bunch of phone calls that people got to make, reach out to, and I got my emails and everything all set up so I can just copy and paste and send them wherever I need to go to any agency. That's all the links to videos. And keep in mind, if you delete any videos, we make copies of everything, which is the video I just posted a few minutes ago. That is the copy that was sent to Homeland Security, which they'll be getting in a few minutes. Watching that in a few minutes, but around 8 or 9 o'clock, you know, when they open up, we're going to get that video. Every agency is going to get that video. And the one you see with the slideshow with the pictures, that one's sent out too. Now, if anyone in those pictures are upset with me at the end of the day, who do you be upset with? You basically went in and bought stolen merchandise from a person at the end of the day who didn't have citizenship to be here in the United States. What made it even worse, he was committing crimes in the United States. Far before he started doing that nonsense. He was ripping off companies. She did your research. You don't do business with everybody. That's what you don't do at the end of the day. Oh, he was a crook. I told you right from the beginning. He's a crook. He's a thief. You can't trust him. And y'all sat out there and bought his product. And now he's got your addresses. You better hope they shut down that PayPal account. Because if they didn't shut down that PayPal account and that thing is still active, God forbid what he's going to do to your address. All right, gotta go.